And this is a little demo showing how the legal rules, including the business rules, can integrate literally with the technology rules within the trust framework for a given system. Let's take a look. Right now for users, systems look like black boxes. It's hard to know what the rules are inside. What comes out may be a narrow set of choices. Do you want chocolate or vanilla? Well, what if you didn't want chocolate or vanilla? What if you were seeking to do something very different? And when the systems are involving your data, your personal data, the choices available to you couldn't be more important.
A fundamental point is that laws, rules, conventions, operating practices increasingly are embedded in software. A whole world now is a giant network of these rules that are embedded in software. That's not necessarily terrible. I mean, a great many advantages follow from that, and it's extremely efficient. But the downside of it is a lot of these rules are concealed down in the guts of the software and not available for criticism, not available for debate, not available even really to be changed. I mean, this is a clandestine way of exerting power that a lot of people are taking advantage of now. It's just program what you want into the rules and okay, suckers, deal with it. This is the way I'm making the world for you. And that's not an acceptable social condition.
And so the first step is to be able to know what rules apply to the personal data of your life system by system. And then to have those rules identified in a granular enough way so that rule by rule, they can correlate directly to the code that instantiates those interactions. And by having the technology rules and the legal rules all driven from databases, we begin to have a starting point for integration of those rules. So let's say, for example, there's a legal rule that specifies 75% or more people have to agree before something happens. There would be a corresponding technology rule, a string with parameters and a value that 75% or greater of the total is required to trigger a given event. What you would then have is this value of 75%, where if it's structured well, that could be changed to 75, 50, 33, 66. It can be changed and automatically update that value within the legal rule in the database, as well as within the corresponding technology rule in the database. And by changing that value within that string in code, of course, you change results for what the applications and services do that are run by that code. And here's an example from our friends in the Center for Civic Media of how easy it can be to create an interface where not just technologists, but also business people, attorneys, even users themselves could participate in the construction of rules that run their systems.
By hovering on top of this drop-down menu, you can select commands from different categories. First is script handling, where you can, let's say I want to create a script, then you drag it out. Or commands that handle inputs and outputs, like to say something on the phone, to record audio, to get input from the keypad, or to send an SMS. So let's get the send SMS. So I'll save this workspace, and it generates the scripts associated with the visual language in there, and the scripts become available to play with. So it's a very easy way for people to put together these scripts, really trying to lower the barriers for people to add their voices to their websites and to create ways for people to interact with the websites via regular phone or SMS.
And there are many other ways that users can construct their rules environment. This is the if this then that, or IFTY system, which is a great example. And one of the things IFTY uses, of course, is OAuth, which gives users very fine-grained control over the sharing of their data. And that sharing has significant business, legal, and technical implications. And so by an explicit integration of those legal codes, the legal rules, lining them up in sequence explicitly within a set of system rules as part of a trust framework, and correlating them directly with each corresponding technical rule instantiated in code and in sequence. The code is law and the law is code in an integrated trust framework.